I want to share with you something very interesting. We all know that the first Gemara is Masechta Brachot. It teaches us about various blessings. It teaches us about prayer, tefillah. It starts out with Kriyat Shema. And one of the greatest commentaries on all the Gemarot was the Meiri. And the Meiri writes a very interesting introduction to all of the Gemarot. And he says like this. He says, every experience that a person has, he has to learn something from it. I once heard a beautiful expression. Don't just go through it, grow through it. Don't just go through an experience, grow through the experience. And he writes, if God forbid somebody has a tragedy, he has to ask himself, why did God make me go through this? What am I supposed to learn from this? And he says, if somebody has a simcha, he's able to marry off a child, he makes a bar mitzvah, whatever, he has to ask himself, why did God allow me to do this? What do I learn from this? And he says, every holiday is the same thing. He says, if a Jew just sits in the sukkah on Sukkot and eats matzah on Paysach and blows shofar on Rosh Hashanah and he doesn't change, you know what he says? Frightening. He said, then a person's like a donkey. Because the donkey carries wheat in the wheat season, oats in the oat season, barley in the barley season, and he's the same donkey. He says, if you go through a holiday, you have to change. We all have 24 hours to change. And I'm going to show you how to change. Because we have to now think, what lesson from Hanukkah can we take in this year, Tafshin Ayin Zayin, in 2016, 5777 in the Hebrew year? What are we going to take from this holiday? And I'll show you. We all know that there is an argument in the Gemara between Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel. Beit Shammai says, you know what? The first night of Hanukkah, you got to light 8 candles. Second night, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hillel, and that's what we do, Hillel says, no, you start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But to me, the most important words that the Gemara says about Hillel is why he does it. You know why? Mosif v'holech. He adds and he goes on. In other words, the lesson of Hanukkah as we lit tonight, the 8th candle, is that we always go higher. We got to improve. So you're going to ask me, in which way should I improve? And you know what I tell you? You know. I don't have to tell you. Everybody here knows what they have to improve in. Think about it for a second. Some of us have to improve in tefillah. We have to daven more often. Or we have to daven a little slower. Some of us have to improve in the amount of Torah that we learn. Some of us have to improve the way we talk to our spouse. Some of us have to improve the way we talk to our workers. Some of us have to improve the way we respect our rabbis. I don't have to tell you what you have to do. You know what you have to do. Don't tell me. Keep it secret. Keep it between you and Hashem. But tonight is the night before you go to sleep. You got to think, how am I going to improve? What am I going to do better in my life? That this Hanukkah, I'm going to be like Hillel. I'm going to learn from those candles that we go higher and higher and higher. Mosif v'holech, to go higher. Now I'll tell you an amazing thing. The Torah tells us, Vahi kashe yoldo Rachel et Yosef. When Rachel gave birth to Yosef, Yaakov, the father of Yosef, goes over to Lavan and he says, you know what? Shalcheni, now you can send me the Elcha El Mokomi Lati. Now I can face the world. So the Shemish Shmuel, the Sochachover Rebbe, asks a question. Why? Just because he had Yosef, now Yaakov is feeling confident that he could go face the world? He had a lot of holy children before that. Yehudah, all the Jewish kings came from Yehudah. David HaMelech came from Yehudah. So why wasn't he confident with the son like Yehudah? He had a son Levi. All the Kohanim and the Leviim who served in the Beis HaMikdash, they came from Levi. Why wasn't he confident with Levi? All the tzaddikim, they came from Yisachar. All the Rebbes came from Shimon. What's so special about Yosef? And you know what the Sochachover Rebbe says? Something amazing. He says the answer is in the name. What does Yosef mean? More, higher. And that's what Yaakov was saying. Once I have a son that will never be satisfied with the status quo, he'll always want to grow higher, that's the kid I can face the world with. That's the child that I need to face the world with. And that's the lesson that we have to learn tonight. We have to become people of Yosef. Interesting, Rabbi Vadia Yosef gave us that thing about Mashiach. Yosef means more. No matter what level any of us are here tonight, we can still be higher. Chazak has built so many of us to achieve certain levels in Torah, in mitzvot, in Avas Hashem, and Avas Yisrael. But we could grow. That's why we come here tonight. We come here tonight on the last night of Hanukkah because we've reached that Mosif Holech. We came up to the number of 8 and we have to improve. Again, I don't have to tell you how you have to improve. You know. Everybody knows. Think about it seriously. Take a walk with yourself tonight. Sit at a table, sit at a corner in your home and think, I got to be better. Hashem allowed me to go through Hanukkah, Baruch Hashem. I see that the candles increase every night. Yosef is that person who added, and that's why Yaakov felt confident. That's how we got to improve.